Hello, all you beautiful people. I don't have an intro. So, today we're going to be talking about something I thought it would be a good series idea, but I don't have a big audience. I don't know if this would grow my channel because this sort of thing isn't getting much coverage now. Like, as it is, this thing is not getting much coverage. So I don't know if this is gonna, like, build up my channel. But I wanted to do this series because... Okay, so, for my DC fans out there that have been watching my channel for a long time, you guys can tell I like comic books. Anyone can tell that. So, for the guys that know it and have been watching my previous videos, I figured I would go through the DC database, the wiki fandom place, and I was going to find 62 or 52? I think I did like one up the new 52. Just as far as numbers. I'm gonna move all this stuff off my desk. When I find a place to put it, I'll do that. I'll do that. Do you guys have that problem? I eternally have that problem. Alright, so it is 62. So, I went through the DC database and I found 62 characters that existed before Crisis on Infinite Earths, and now they don't. And they should come back because they're awesome characters. So, I don't know really where I'm gonna put this, because I have a place for it, but I don't think people would ever go there. My playlist tab, obviously it's gonna show up there, but I think I should make another section on my YouTube, so it's easier for people to find. So these are 62 characters that existed before Crisis on Infinite Earths, which was basically a mid-80s story that mainly revolved around like Superman-ish characters, and it reset everything that was DC. And there were characters that no longer existed, and some characters made it. Like Superman made it out, Batman made it out, and a lot of others that we are familiar with, but some of the ones that like nobody knows about, they used to exist and they're really cool characters, but they're never gonna come back. I mean, unless we talk about them enough. And even still, like, maybe they won't come back. So, the new 52 brought back a lot of older characters and sort of revitalized them. So I'm gonna do something similar to that completely different thing with this series. I'm just gonna call it the old 62. So, episode 1, it took a long time to find 62 characters that I found interesting that were from before Crisis, but I did it, and there were points where I definitely wanted to give up. I was like, I found enough. There was a point when I was like, this is just enough. If I do this series now, people are still gonna like it. But I kept on for you guys, and it's gonna be better because of you guys. I wanted to make it better for you guys. So, without further ado, we are gonna talk about Super-Menace. So I pulled up his wiki right here, and I'm gonna read it out for you guys, and then we're gonna look at powers. When Kal-El was shot into space to save him from Krypton's destruction, Kal-El became the Superman we all know and love. His ship collided with an alien satellite that contained a duplication ray machine. So it, like, duplicated the baby Kal-El and his spaceship. And that's pretty much how Super-Menace came into existence. Well, while he was growing up, he had a few different names. There was Super Brat and Super Bully. But then, in his final stage, when he came out as an adult character, it was Super-Menace. And I think that's a really cool name, so assumingly he's just like Superman, and this is like the most recent, or not the most recent reboot of what Superman is and what his powers are, but like, this is the version they refer to when they make new ones, so I'm gonna read ahead and, like, compress it down. So basically, Super-Menace is made of energy. He doesn't have any biology to him. It says that the duplicate Kal-El didn't have any biology, but was an energy force that resembled Kal-El. So he's made of living energy. That's really cool. He's like, what's the silver guy from the Justice League cartoon? Captain Atom or something? So yeah, he's like Captain Atom. As far as, like, the, I don't know how to word that, because he doesn't have any biology, so it's, like, not in terms of biology. I guess it would be, though. I don't know, this is a interesting character. So it was an energy force that resembled Kal-El. While Kal-El's, ship was found by the Kent family, the duplicate was in turn found by Wolf Derrick and his wife Bonnie, two notorious mobsters. Yeah, they're gonna be in the thumbnail. They were pretty awful parents. They constantly called Super-Menace a freak, and I could only find out this much by looking at the panels of the comics he's in. But they really, I don't know if they were afraid of him, but they hated him. And I'm not sure why. I mean, it's like he was their weapon. They could have appreciated him a little. So, I don't know. Yeah, the positive law-abiding value system of the Kents, that's what Kal-El was raised on. But the duplicate was raised by these mobsters. Where was that? Oh yeah. While Kal-El became Clark Kent and was raised lovingly and instilled with positive law-abiding value system, his duplicate was treated as a freak and raised to be a criminal. And he looks almost identical to Superman, except he has like a raccoon-style mask. It's odd. It's an odd choice. I guess it's for the time period, because there's also this one picture, I don't think it's even him, but it looks a lot like Super-Menace, and he's like flying in the air and holding a money bag, like the traditional burlap sack with a $ on it. Like, if you're gonna rob a bank, don't use that. It's gonna make you obvious. So, yeah, he's a really dated character. I'm just gonna scroll up right quick and see what his last appearance was. Appearance of Death, Superman 137, May 1960. So, yeah. He's a pretty old character. Wow, okay, so that was also his first appearance, apparently. And I think this character inspired Bizarro, because he sort of has the blocky features that Bizarro has. Not so severe, but he does. Like, just sort of looking at him, it's like looking in a mirror for Bizarro. That's my opinion, anyway. The super brat would grow up helping the Derricks gain material wealth and crush their enemies. However, Super Brat would keep his existence a secret until Wolf dictated it was time for the boy to help out when they were in a real jam. So, he was like their scapegoat. Like, anytime they got in a really bad situation, he would just help them. Well, I guess any child would, you know, since they were raising him. You know, when you're that young, your mind just absorbs everything, and you act on what you're told. And I guess he was brought up to think that this sort of stuff was okay, so it makes sense. It's good writing. It really captures what people are and how they act. So I just really like this character. This became more apparent when the appearance of the crime-fighting Super Baby later Superboy made his appearance. The Derricks would groom Super Brat to one day be the primary weapon against this potential threat to their growing criminal empire. So yeah, Superboy, I am guessing the Superboy we know, well, the one that's been adapted, like this is what he was adapted from. So this is probably Superboy Prime that, like, wrecked everything in that one comic. He, like, came from the past. No, he came from Earth 2, didn't he? This is Earth 1, so I don't know. I don't know who this is. Maybe it is the Superboy we know, Connor Kent. Maybe. As a teenager, the duplicate would name himself Super Bully, and would spend time secretly creating disasters and unsuccessfully expose Superboy's secret identity to everyone, steal his girlfriend Lana Lang by posing as Clark, and even trying to take Krypto by pretending to be Superboy. And failing in all these things. During this time, Super Bully learned that he was immune to kryptonite. That's a really good quality for a Superman-esque character. Ultraman, kryptonite actually makes him more powerful, and the sun weakens him. So, what they've done with Ultraman in recent years, that is really amazing. I love, like, the Crime Syndicate comics. So, I don't know how I feel about the Owlman character, but I like Ultraman. As an adult, now the embittered, I learned a new word. I guess it means like made bitter, I guess. Super-Menace. Hating Superman for having a loving family and being famed all over the world, Wolf would send the Super-Menace to finally destroy his hated foe. That's a really big amount of stuff to put in one issue of one comic. Like, I'm pretty sure he only existed... Yeah. Superman 137 is his only appearance. It says that's his first appearance and appearance of death. So I'm not going to go to appearances because maybe there are more, but it's not listing it on the front, which if there is more, that's bad for them. So I'm going to assume, which is a bad thing to do because usually since people don't care about these characters, things that are useful information get swept under the rug. So, I need to find my place now. During the clash, Superman and Super-Menace would learn the truth of his origins, and during the fight, Super-Menace would bring down kryptonite meteors to destroy his foe. However, realizing that he would get no satisfaction from killing Superman, and would never gain any of the things he wanted most of all, which was loving parents, respect, and recognition, Super-Menace would save Superman's life. Renouncing his criminal life, he would confront the Derricks and change back into his energy form, killing the Derricks and himself in the process. So that's a lot of stuff to put in one comic book. So I'm surprised, I'm impressed that, what? I was just about to look at his powers and abilities, but they're not all bullet points like usual. It's a block of text. So let's just see what it is. As a duplicate of Superman, Super-Menace had all the common abilities of a Kryptonian when powered by a yellow sun. These powers include superhuman strength, invulnerability, flight, super breath, and X-ray vision. I don't know why they didn't put those in bullet points. Due to the fact that he was an energy force, and also probably because he was never born on Krypton, kryptonite had no effect on the Super-Menace. It is unknown if he had any other weakness common to empowered Kryptonians. In addition, once he was aware of his true nature, he was able to change back into his energy force form at will. However, it appeared that doing so killed him, as he has not been seen since. Well, that doesn't really mean anything. You know, Kronos, or Chrono? I forget. One of the Guardians of the Universe, well, he was, but then he broke off from the Guardians and became a more humanoid creature. He just looked like a green person. And he became an energy force at one point, but then he was brought back to a living force. It is getting late. But anyways, so he lived in energy form until he was brought back to a normal humanoid form. So I guess it works for him. So maybe it works for Super-Menace. Like, we could bring him back if we wanted to. That's the point I'm trying to make. Chrono died, actually. He died and Necron brought him back. And that was like way before the Black Lanterns. So, yeah, I mean, we could bring back Super-Menace. He's a perfect duplicate of Superman. Well, except for the fact that he has no biology. He's made of energy. Other than that, he's a perfect duplicate of Superman. And I would like to see this guy in like a cartoon and just fighting all the new guys. You know, the new, wait. We haven't had like a good old-fashioned DC cartoon since Young Justice. So I don't know. I don't know where this guy would show up, because he's not really... It wouldn't fit if we put him in like a live action. And it might fit if we put him in a video game that's cartoony, but I don't know. I don't know how we would bring him back, but we totally could, is the point I'm making. And this video is getting way too long, so I'm gonna close with that. I hope this was informative and interesting, and I hope you actually watched until the end, because some of the YouTubers I watch, like, sometimes they just can't keep me interested until the ending. So, yeah. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. We're going to be talking about another character, and this is going to be a running series until I get done with all 62 characters. So, I'll see you next time. Hopefully I find a good place for this playlist. A good place that's easy to find. Alright, peace.